Hello my dear trainees, welcome to this topic, cooking methods, under the unit food production. The unit code is FD 7202 and I am Madam Diana Kitui. I will be your trainer. So I have my email account and my contacts on my screen. If you want more information, you can reach me. So let's start on introduction to cooking methods. So this program is designed to equip you with the fundamental skills and knowledge required to master various cooking techniques. And we are going to look at different methods of cooking. Number 1, we have boiling. Number 2, we have steaming. Number 3, we have baking. And number 4, we have roasting. And we are going to engage on hands-on practice, theoretical learning, recipe development, and you as a trainee are expected to attend all sessions on time, complete all given assignments on time, and actively engage in group work and practical sessions. And from your perspectives, this course will offer you skills development and career preparation. So let's brainstorm on this session, and I expect you to write your answers on your notebook. Number 1, list all the examples of cooking methods. Kindly give your responses on your notebook. Number 2, list the disadvantages and the advantages of various cooking methods. Number 3, write the tips for all the different cooking methods. So we will start with boiling. So boiling is basically cooking food in water or broth at a high temperature that is between 100 degrees Celsius or 200 degrees Celsius. And commonly used foods for boiling are pastas, vegetables, and eggs. So we have the advantages of boiling food. Number 1, boiling food is simple because you only need water, a pan, and a heating source. Number 2, boiling water is fast compared to other methods. Number 2, boiling enables the food to retain its moisture and also prevents nutrients loss. So let's move to the disadvantages of boiling. So boiling can leach nutrients into water, leading to nutrients loss. So basically when we boil food or when we boil for a long time, we get to lose the nutrients of the food in water. So that is one of the disadvantages of boiling. And let's look at the tips for boiling food. So when you're boiling, you should ensure that you use a little water as possible to minimize nutrients loss, and to use the cooking liquid in soups or sauces. So let's look at steaming, learners. So steaming is basically cooking food using steam from boiling water. So this is whereby you boil water in a pan, then you place the food to be steamed on top of the water. We can mostly steam vegetables, fish, and dumplings. So we have the advantages of steaming food. Number 1, when you steam food, you retain the nutrients of the food. This is because the food is not completely immersed in water. so we don't get to lose the nutrients. Number 2, steaming preserves the texture and color of the food. This is because the food is not directly immersed in water. So let's look at the disadvantages of steaming food. Number 1, steaming can be slower than boiling, because when you steam food, you put a lower heat source. Then, tips for steaming food. You should ensure the steam can circulate around the food for even cooking. Let's look at baking. So baking is cooking food by surrounding it with dry heat in an oven. So we can mostly bake breads, cakes, cookies, and casseroles. So let's look at the advantages of baking. Number 1, we bake food for even cooking. Number 2, we can cook multiple items at once. This is whereby we can place a number of items in an oven and cook them at once. Then the last one but not least, it develops flavor and texture. This is because the food has the right time and the right temperature to cook. So let's look at the disadvantages of baking. Number 1, baking can take a long time and it has the risk of drying out the food. So when you bake food, it means you need to give the food maximum time for it to be well cooked. So this will lead to the food taking very long time, and you can have the risk of drying out the food in the oven. So the tips for baking: make sure you preheat your oven for even cooking. Learners, let's look at roasting. So roasting is cooking food using dry heat in an oven or an open source flame. We can roast meat, we can roast vegetables, and we can roast nuts. So the advantages of roasting: number 1, it enhances the flavor of the food. Number 2, it produces a crispy exterior and tender interior. So let's look at the disadvantages of roasting. Number 1, the food is at risk of drying out if it's over roasted. And the tips for roasting food is that make sure you baste meats periodically and use a meat thermometer to ensure the meat is very well cooked. So learners, we have come to the end of our topic. In summary, we have explored various cooking methods, including boiling, steaming, baking, and roasting. Each of these methods offers a unique benefit and is suited for different types of food and desired outcomes. We have also looked at the disadvantages and the advantages and the tips of each method. So thank you learners for listening to this session, and have a great afternoon.